next diaspora lives in the city of Melbourne, Australia. Now, we would love to know more about how he has been celebrating Independence Day right there in the capital of Victoria State. Zulhafiz Tadore.
Zulhafiz Tadore,
Hello.
how are you today?
Long time no see.
Long
Good to
time no
see you
see.
again here on air.
How are
have
you
you
guys?
been?
Been doing great. How you been, guys?
Good, good. So, fun fact, Zulhafiz Tadore used to work here at TVR
Yes.
World for a couple of years. So, tell us a little bit more about the updates of your life as a diaspora in Australia at the moment, Zulhafiz Tadore.
So thanks for having me. Honestly, finally, but I'm currently in Melbourne. I've been doing sort of like back and forth between Indonesia and Australia. So kind of moving around Australia a little bit, not only in Melbourne. So yeah, but I've been back and forth Australia and Indonesia almost a year now. So yeah.
Wow.
That's the update, the only update that I can share with you guys.
So good to hear from someone that comes from a small island in northern part of Sulawesi.
Yes, indeed.
Now lives in Melbourne.
Indeed.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm picking up you have an Australian accent now, Zulhafiz, already.
Zulhafiz Tadore, living the dream with the Australian
really?
accent. So, Zulhafiz Tadore, we heard that you joined the 80th Independence Day celebration at the Indonesian Consulate General in Melbourne. What was the atmosphere like when the red and white was raised?
Exactly. I just had the opportunity to attend the ceremony just earlier this morning, Melbourne time, Australia. But it was exciting, and then for me, I couldn't feel more prouder than before because first I would say this is my first time celebrating or commemorating the Indonesian Independence Day abroad. Even though I used to like last year, I was in the state, but I didn't quite have the opportunity to attend the ceremony in embassy in Washington D.C. However, this is my first time ever in overseas. But yeah, it was really for me personally speaking, I don't know, I just feel prouder than before, But and also I just had the opportunity to have a little bit of a talk with our Consul General of the Republic of Indonesia in Melbourne, and there were activities that been held here in Melbourne. Not only the ceremony on today's date, which the 17th of August, but then there were some sports activities. Also musical activities that the Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia in Melbourne, Australia organized.
All right. Now, living in Melbourne, Australia has its advantages for Indonesians because there's such a huge Indonesian community and there's a lot of Indonesian businesses, including food and beverages businesses. So there's a lot of Indonesian food, right? But I'm sure it's not exactly the same as home. So if we can ask you about the things that you miss the most from home, especially today on Independence Day, what would they be, Zulhafiz?
I would say it's a tricky question here because I just had the rendang just earlier this morning.
Okay, okay. Humble bragging a bit there,
But
Zulhafiz.
I would say I miss a lot of, since you mentioned earlier that I was from the small island in the northern part of Sulawesi, which is called Sangihe Island. So I used to eat a lot of fish, lots of fish, but I kind of miss what's so-called like a shredded fish, cakalang. So I kind of miss that one.
Okay.
Ooh,
And
sounds delicious.
yeah, basically just the fish,
Quite specific. Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
So, Zulhafiz, as you mentioned earlier, you had a chance to speak with the Indonesian Consul General. What message did he share about
Yes.
independence and the Indonesian community in Melbourne?
Right. It's very interesting, Uli, about our conversation just earlier this morning because the Consul General emphasized on the unity of the Indonesian diaspora here in Melbourne in particular, especially for because there are lots of Indonesians here in Melbourne, like Siska mentioned, even everywhere in Australia, I would say. in the city especially. There are a lot of Indonesian, but the only thing the consul general emphasized was the unity of the Indonesian diaspora, especially.
All right. Now, for you personally, what was the highlight of the day? The official ceremony, the cultural performances, or simply meeting so many Indonesians in one place?
Yeah, I know it's unbelievable, but since in Australia, Indonesian community is quite a lot, so I personally think, what is that? It's just because I kind of like, on the ceremony, I kind of like focus on taking some footages, not really having a conversation with other Indonesians, because I kind of focus on that footages for TVR especially. but but I would say it's just amazing to see all Indonesian united in or gathered in at the consulate general in Melbourne, because every, I would say, it's an annual a big annual celebration or in the commemorating of our Indonesian independence. So it's good to see Indonesians living overseas kind of gathered in at one place.
All right, Zulhafidz, one last thing we want to ask you before we let you go. On the off chance that some friends, even families, are watching you right now from that little island in northern Sulawesi, maybe you have some messages to share with them along with all of your friends in Indonesia and also in Melbourne on the message of Indonesia's independence. Go ahead, Zulhafidz.
Thank you, Siska. It's a big question for me because giving message to others is sort of like a big one for me. But I would say, as an Indonesian, just keep improving, not improving, but keep continuing support the nation, especially since we all hope that Indonesia, continues to grow into a country that is not only known for its natural beauty and also the in its innovation, and also the unity, I would say. So as a youth especially, I would just emphasize the unity itself, because it's one of the important things for me, because with unity we can just go by peace and respect one another. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Zulhafidz Tadore, for your time. Wishing you all the best, and we hope to see you soon sometimes.
Bye,
Take care.
Zulhafidz.
Thank you so
Bye.
much, Siska and Uli. I'll see you soon.
Okay.